very much, good people. Let me start with the gentleman. I didn't get his name from Osop. And that gentleman says, we have too many lies flying all over the place. Let me just state, let me just put it clearly. So many people have spread this story about William Ruto not telling the truth or making fake promises. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that there will be a hustler fund. Today, there is a hustler fund that takes care of 2 million Kenyans. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that fertilizer is going to come down. It has come down from 7,000 to 2,500. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we will have a housing program. Today, 103,000 houses are being built with 160,000 young people, real people, engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, plumbers, technicians working. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we are going to sort out matters in the education sector. Today, we have hired the highest number of teachers in Kenyan history in one time, 56,000 teachers. I made a commitment that I am going to sort out the mess that was in our universities. Today, ask any vice chancellor. With our new funding model, we have sorted out the challenge that was there in our universities. Today, lecturers are being paid. No university today is about to close down. When I came into office, most universities were teetering on being closed because of debts. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that I am going to implement universal health coverage. Today, as I talk to you, we have 100,000 community health promoters in every village in Kenya that I pay, that I have equipped to begin the journey towards universal health coverage. As I talk to you today, there are 4 pieces of legislation that we have implemented, that we have enacted to actualize universal health coverage. I can go on, and I can tell you, every commitment that I made, I said I am going to appoint the judges that were not there. I did. I said I'm going to operationalize the fund for the police, independent police. I did. I said I am going to enhance the budget of the judiciary. I did. You know, when people want to conveniently say a few things that propagate a certain narrative, it is easy. But let me leave that there. Let me go back to the Mosop Kurgung story. I want to tell you, my good brother, we have stalled roads in Kenya. In fact, the budget, the debt we have on roads is 910 billion. Because we rolled out a program that we didn't have money to do. It is what is troubling me now. It is why many people are asking me, why are you outside the country? I went to China, for example, and I got 40 billion shillings to do at least 8 roads that were stalled. I have come back from the US, and we have had a consultation, and we are getting money to be able to roll out some of our roads, courtesy of concessional funding from the World Bank. I have had conversations with the president of Germany, and they are giving us money under the same program for us to be able to meet some of our programs. I want to tell my good friend from Osop that we are focused on these areas. These roads did not stall yesterday. These roads have stalled for a while. We are figuring out how to make sure that we deal with that situation. And my apologies that maybe the minister did not keep his word, and I'm going to remind him. Let me do the following. On fertilizer, I want to agree with you on this subject of fertilizer first. Let me say this. Fertilizer has made a very big difference in Kenya. Because of our program on fertilizer, we have managed to increase our food productivity. For example, on maize alone, from 44 million bags to 67 million bags last year. This year, we are going to pay the highest bonus ever in Kenyan history for our tea. In fact, our tea production, because of the support we gave KTDA, has increased from last year. It was 180 billion shillings that we collected from our tea. This year, it's going up to 210 billion. On coffee, the average payment of coffee last year was in the region of 70, 80. As I talk to you now, because we supported our tea farmers, the average payment for our coffee is in the region of between 100, 120, in some very good cases, 129 shillings per kilo. The whole array of what we have done with fertilizer is phenomenal. And therefore, I understand when somebody like my friend from Morsop gets annoyed when there are people who want to sabotage a program that is making a very big difference in Kenya. And that is the reason why I didn't delay 1 minute. When this issue of fake fertilizer came into the public, all the officials that were involved in it at the National Cereals and Produce Board were charged. When the minister is finally, when there is evidence gathered enough for the minister to be held to account, I want to promise you that I will fire him and any other minister for that matter, if there is sufficient evidence to hold anybody accountable. Arrogance. I agree with you that not everybody understands communication. Let me tell you, my good friend from Mosop, the day you become a public speaker, you will know how easy it is to make a mistake in the public. Sometimes you say things that you did not mean, but it comes out very badly. So whether it is the member of parliament for Molo, the member for parliament for Molo is a young man. I can tell you that young man is doing his very best. In fact, when I made him the chair of finance committee, many people told me he was too young. I shouldn't have made him. But I wanted to test also young people. And I wanted to mentor young people. And I want to say, he has made mistakes. But I want to tell you that young man is bright. He has a bright future. He made mistakes. I will apologize for him. Maybe he said what he shouldn't have said. But they are among the young people I am mentoring so that they can become leaders tomorrow. Same case with my friend Kimani Ichungwa. In fact, after he made that statement in, I think it was maybe in Baringo or somewhere, I called him. I told him, look, this is not how to engage the public. If you follow the next day, he had managed to correct his statement. And he had done, an about turn of some sort. Because let me tell you, my good friend from Osop, I have also one duty as a leader in Kenya. I have a duty to mentor other leaders. They will make mistakes. They will demonstrate, maybe some arrogance, maybe either inadvertently or in whatever manner. But partly, it's because of inexperience, partly because of not a fair understanding of things. But I sometimes will want to take responsibility because these are members of my team, and I will correct them. Let me also say about what you said about the Finland story in Eldoret. It is really unfortunate that people sold property, land, livestock for their children to go to Finland. I wish I could go to court and tell the court to jail these people. Unfortunately, there is something called rule of law. There is something called due process. If these people had not been arrested, if nothing had not been done about it, then I would think that there would be a matter. But these are people who have been arrested. They are, as I talk to you, presently in court. They are being taken through due process. And I am very confident that if they are guilty, the law is going to deal with them. Let me go to Saruni, Akili. You said about the 1.5. It is true. There was a proposal of 3%. The public told us that we do not want a levy. If you want, collect a tax, reduce it to 1.5. So both reduction to 1.5 and changing to a tax was actually coming from public participation. This is what the public said. If the public are going to make a different suggestion going forward, we will respect what the public will have said going into the future. Am I still audible? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Let me say this. I agree with you, my friend, that I said that I would have an advisor in my office for young people, but maybe I did something different. I gave many young people. If you go to parliament, if you look at the leader of Senate, if you look at the leader of many committees in parliament, I made young people. If you look at my deputy comptroller of State House, these are young people. I decided to have more more principal secretaries. If you look at the profile of my principal secretaries, you have people in their 30s, many of them serving in substantive positions. In fact, many people were asking me whether these girls, some of them look like they are, or these boys, whether they can be principal secretaries. And I'm very proud of them. They are doing a wonderful job. But that is something I will consider, Saruni, that as a way of keeping a promise, I think that is something I need to consider. And thank you very much for your feedback. Let me also say on the matter of the law that is bringing problems to 6,000 diploma law students who, because of a law in 2014, I will take it up with the AG. Ordinarily, professional organizations like the legal fraternity are normally regulated by professional bodies like the LSK and all the others. If we get a recommendation from the LSK to the Attorney General, I will be able to facilitate and make sure that we don't enfranchise 6,000 people in Kenya who have undergone training and who need to practice law in the way they want to do. I agree with you that there has been a problem with the Kenya Youth Council. We need to deal with it. And I have told Ababu Namwamba, my minister for young people, to look at whether we have the right forum. The problem with the Youth Council, it has always looked like it is a government agency. We want to make sure that it doesn't look like a government corporation or a government agency. We want it to be a young people's organization in a way that government influence and government intervention is limited so that the young people can speak for themselves. I would welcome ideas, Saruni, from university leadership on how we can make the Youth Council better, more democratic, and more representative of the young people. I couldn't agree with you more on this branding issue. I see faces of people all over the place on government projects that have been done. And I think it is made to look like they did it with their own money. I agree with you that this branding, if it costs public money, it should stop. And it is feedback that I am going to take in to see to it that no public money is used to paint people's photos on government projects. Let me answer ex-councillor. I'm told he's ex-councillor, but he's also a doctor. This is good. I didn't know that an ex-councillor, a doctor can be an ex-councillor, but that is good. He has asked me about the NHIF and the transition to shift. Let me tell my brother, I didn't get his name, that the reason why we are shifting from NHIF to shift is because NHIF is limited. NHIF only captures a small section of our society. It is my intention, as I made a commitment to the public, that every Kenyan must have two things: must have access to healthcare and must have access to health insurance. We must make sure that those people, even those who cannot afford NHIF, because there are many people who cannot afford the 500 we are paying at the moment. And that is why we have brought in a means testing system so that the people who cannot afford the 500, we have now reduced it to 300 under the new program. And even those who cannot afford the 300, the government of Kenya is going to pay for them, so that no Kenyan will go to hospital, whether they are suffering from hypertension or cancer or diabetes or whatever. Either they get treatment because level 1, 2, and 3 are free, or they can go to a referral hospital and there is an insurance system through SHIF, that's the social insurance that is going to make sure that their bills are paid. So, and let me tell you, one very important addition to this program is the digital health platform. The biggest problem we have had in NHIF is the digitization process. We lose a lot of money because of collusion between hospitals and staff at NHIF. In fact, you saw in the public media that there are hospitals that have more accountants than medical officers because they are gaming the system. We have now standardized all tariffs. There is no way you can be treated by malaria in one hospital and you pay 1,000, and treated for malaria in another hospital and pay 100. We have standardized, whether it is public, whether it is private hospital, we have now standardized treatment. That is what happens world over in countries that understand how to manage matters health. So this is a comprehensive program. It is one program that will change the face of Kenya. Kenyans will no longer have to sell their land, sell their property to go and pay for hospital bills. We will, all of us, stop these harambes and the public collections that we are collecting to go and deal with people. So, my good friend, this is the plan. We have gone through it with Parliament. We have enacted 4 pieces of legislation. It was my plan to launch it on the 1st of this month. Unfortunately, because of the challenges we've gone through with the finance bill, we have shifted it to begin 1st of October, but the process of registration has already started. I think we are on day 4, and already over 100,000 Kenyans have been registered. So, and I want to encourage all Kenyans to register so that we can be able to plan for our health together as the people of Kenya. And we can even plan for our health commodities, and we can be able to secure everybody from matters illness. Thank you very much.
Not finish my questions.